So, I suppose let's start with character introductions. So, let's start with you, Yazi.
I'm Yazi, the Wolf Dragon Artisan. My personality is confident. My motto is all will be revealed. I currently have the goal of make a pact with the Shang Tzu, uncover, defeat the Firestrike Gang, and defeat the mercenaries.
Straight and to the point. All right. Next up we have is Temujin.
Yes, Tamara the Spider Mare. Actions speak louder than words. Now I'm going to find and uncover the mystery of the Firestrike Gang, the mercenaries, and maybe also the spiders. But first, I have to get Yazi some more money.
Gotta pay the bills.
$1.
Next up is Ning.
Hello, I am playing Ning, the sword dancer Kigen. Her motto is for the glory, and her current goal.
Oh, you kind of cut out there for a second.
And you're muted, Liz.
Sorry about that. So her current goals are to defeat the mercenaries and uncover the secrets of the gang.
Okay. There's Storm.
Hey, I made
Perfect
it too.
timing.
Quickly, your introduction. Hurry.
Shang Lupo. It's not that the
Dirty rotten scoundrel.
I was
Grabby
not
makes all the
prepared.
rules.
I have a motto. Y'all heard it before. Y'all know who this is.
All right.
Something
And,
about rope.
Something about rope and wells and holes and I don't know.
It's not that the rope's too
Hey,
deep, it's that the
how's
rope's not
everybody
too
doing?
long or something like that.
Well, it's not that the well is too deep, is that the rope is too short. I think that's how it goes. In any case, last but not least is our stripy giant tiger friend.
Yes, I am playing New Wei, the Tiger Slaver, whose motto is I can move mountains, who has the goal of to eliminate the Firestrike Gang, to eliminate the mercenaries, and uncover where the spiders come from.
Da 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 da. Yes,
So,
you can add the goal, discover where the spiders come from. So,
Mayor, where do baby spiders come from?
Well, you see, when a mother spider decides to wrap up someone else and take them home.
Mm-hmm.
ooh,
Well, I suppose it's on me for not actually finding a scout when we were in town. But I am planning on an expedition, so perhaps we can knock out 2 stones at once.
well, so are you attempting to make a expedition, I guess, or like a mineral survey, or what's your goal?
A mineral survey. I believe we had our wizard who was in town, and I was about to prod them if they would be willing to assist us going through some books, doing some research, and doing a little survey.
Aha! And by the wizard, I think you mean the our little braggart otter friend.
Yes indeed. The one who's way too excited about fire.
So I pinged the map there, and yes, her name is Ling the Firebrand, and she is an otter, but she's currently in the tea house with Ning and the new waitress Lena.
Right. And I suppose this is the next day or something at this point.
Well, sure, we can fast forward it a day or two or something.
Right.
If
And
we're
so-
fast forwarding, though, I actually have to butt in.
Oh, sure. If there's anything else, you want to interject, feel free.
I kind of have to since I'm paying people by the day.
Okay.
If we're fast forwarding, I have to send people to the city because I need the actual supplies to make your first order. So I need to send them off with enough money to go to the city to then buy that stuff and come back. So I've made my irregular roll which means that I only have 2 people.
Now the question is too: is do you send them with any escort or?
I mean, it's dangerous to go alone.
Well, the roads are tricky. Are they
Yeah.
also? Are they going by the road or are they going by ferry?
By
boat.
ferry, because I'm going to send my my boatsman with them.
Okay.
Let's see here. I need the one with haggling to go. So I'm going to send Fei Hong. They'll be one of my regulars for this game. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send 3. I'm going to send my ally in those 2. So I'm going to send Fei Hong, which is which is my moneylender. You'll see her in the pawn shop.
Okay.
I'm going to send Wei Shu, which is my sailor, who works the docks. And I'm going to send my ally Ryu. And I'm going to send them with 3 Orioles. Because I require all the resources I can muster, which is going to be enough for the mayor's order, plus additional minerals that I can use in blacksmithing. Actually, how much would I need to upgrade the forge?
We require more minerals. I think to upgrade it, you'll definitely need like building material. As far as specific prices go, it really is a question of getting them. You could potentially commandeer them from the village itself. You could try to buy them yourself. It depends on how best you approach it.
If I was going to buy them, and this is just not a suggestion, but in the Ironclaw book, if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, there's a suggested price per weight of item that you're looking at. So it's usually like a cheap one would be like 1 bu or denarii for 2 stones worth. And since we're literally just talking about weight of like stone and stuff, if we were going to put an actual cost to the weight, what would you be thinking?
Well, gosh, well, how heavy is a forge? Because you wanna upgrade it to include like a blast furnace where you can smelt steel.
Right.
Or probably at least 500 pounds.
Okay, so like 1,000 at the very least. Okay, so we're just going to put that out of mind for right now.
Okay.
Maybe they'll disassemble the alchemist shop. I don't know. Well, yeah, no, they'll just buy enough metal material for me to start forging other things that I could possibly sell. But yeah, no, on the first day, before we fast forward through things, I'm going to send those 3 off down the river.
Okay.
To the city to buy stuff.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll a d12 for me.
If only we had someone to watch the weather. They'd throw the money overboard.
Okay. Well, with a 4, it's assumed that things aren't too bad, and they go along just fine. It seems.
Actually, I would like my alchemist to also sell his goods while he's there.
Okay. That is easily approved of.
Okay. So 6 bottles of Aqua Fortis, 6 bottles of Aqua Vitae, and 12 bottles of quack medicine. Oh, and 6 bottles of good medicine, because why not? I assume are we gonna call those used?
Call what used now?
Used goods versus new goods.
Oh, if you sell it. Oh gosh, that's a good question.
Because obviously they're not used because they're potions.
Right, because they were just made.
Right.
So I think if they've just been made, then they're not used, so they would go full price.
Okay. Alright, so we'll fast forward through that, and I'll give you the monetary readout, like, after a session or whatever.
Sounds good.
Okie doke.
Okey-doke. Anything else anybody else want to do?
Poke and ling, like I said.
Okay, so let's move your token over there.
Already ahead of you. Moved it over.
Okay, perfect. So, Ning, by the by, too, you can make a presence roll, and just to, if you decide, if you're doing your daily performances, I'll allow you to do a check every single day for extra ducati dues.
Since we are actually, can we postpone this after Tamara's turn? Because I
Oh,
have
sure.
some other ideas here.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Well, Tamara, you go into the tea house, and it is just packed. Um, Lots of people are interested in seeing Ning dance. Lots of people are interested in seeing Lena. Uh, it's starting to turn into something of a little hotspot. There's a lot of faces you don't recognize either, so it's almost like people are starting to stop on their way, or if they're up to no good, come in from the woods to have a nice place to stop. But yep, you easily spot Ling the firebrand in the corner. She's got her nose in a large book and seems completely tuned out to the rest of the world.
Well, in this case, well, I'm pleasantly pleased to see how well the place is doing, but I'll focus on Ling for now. I'll go over to her table and just sort of like lightly tap on it to get her attention.
She stares up from over her book and says, "What? What do you want? What?"
Oh, I'm so sorry to disturb you. I just wanted to have a little chat.
She kind of lowers the book down so it's on the table and says, "Yes."
Well, I was hoping I could offer you up a little proposition to do a little research for me while you're in town. I could always use someone as bright as you are. You see, there's a number of mineral survey records I need to go over, and, well, it's quite a lot. I wouldn't
Well,
mind a little bit of assistance interpreting it all.
she kind of like taps her finger against her lips, kind of thinking, and says, mineral survey, and she digs around in a satchel, pulls out like a ledger, and just starts to page through it a little bit. She's That'll go on for probably 10 minutes if you don't speak.
Mm-hmm.
But she kind of goes, yeah, the only thing I can seem to find here is something that was done several centuries ago, but it's pretty inconclusive.
I see. We might be referring to a little bit of the same thing, but I think we might have some of the original documents.
Her eyes kind of widen up and says, "Well, why don't you show them to me? Why are we wasting our time here?"
Oh, I'd be delighted to. Please, come with me, dear.
Okay.
And she'll go back to her home with the scribe, with the badger,
Okay.
and start fishing through her like own little library. It's like, it's somewhere around here. Mother always kept it in just this dumb little corner with all the rest of this stuff. Let's see. It has to be around here. And I suppose this would be the time where we begin doing research.
Sure, roll it.
Let's see. I'm going to presume she is actually smarter than me and might even have the research talent.
She certainly does have the research gift.
Excellent. Then I and my scribe will assist her. And I do have at least some academics myself. But I am no help figuring this out. It's just all Calabrian to me, you know?
I see what you did there. But by the by, I should ask, where Lu Wei, are you by any chance near or around the mayor's house?
I would more than likely. I don't know.
If he's with me, my plan is actually to go see the mayor. So
Yeah. Okay. Then I will
Drag
be
your friend with you.
Yeah.
he's
So
my muscle.
So while she walks into the door, she notices Lu Wei and just kind of goes, such boorish company you find yourself in.
Oh, it's simply what we have to deal with out here. We have to make friends where we can.
Some
I assure you, he
friends.
won't be bothering you while we do our research.
Real fast, because she did get a couple successes, but real fast, Lue, make a mind and observation roll.
I have one success.
A couple times you do catch her kind of giving you the eye a little bit.
And I will simply smile and wave at her, and then point back towards the mayor of, you should be paying attention, little one.
Her face blushes and she gets, God, I'm not have that yet. So she gets 2 successes and says, well, at least with the leopards here, it didn't seem as though they really did much of a survey. It looks like it was predominantly farming. So part of the survey, like, I guess, is there a specific one you're looking for? Just iron, coal, precious metals, gemstones?
All of the above, quite honestly. Anything we could do to turn a little bit more of a profit.
Ugh, that'll take some time.
Well, you're welcome to stay as long as you like and continue reading. Maybe there's something that'll turn up.
Yeah, she cracks her knuckles and says, haha, you can count on me. But the real question is, how much is this worth to you?
Oh, well, it would be quite invaluable to the village. And presuming that we do find such minerals and can dig a bit of it up, I can promise you a small share of the initial profits to set you on your way.
What sort of skills do you have to negotiate that?
Oh, why, in fact, I am a negotiator, and I can fast talk anyone to any kind of deal.
Okay, we'll roll them bones.
All right. And of course, I suppose I could also say I have wealth backing it up, and well, even if we don't find anything, I'm sure I could find some way to pay you. So let's see. So D8 got 2D8 plus 1D6, and then the D12 for fast talking. And would wealth qualify?
I would say no for now.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's see how quickly I can do this. Ooh, well, that's looking pretty nice, but 2 successes.
Okay, with 2 successes, you've definitely got her interest and says, okay, well, I suppose we'll keep it as credit for now and get some kind of share and et cetera, et cetera.
Excellent. I'm so glad to have someone of your caliber on board.
Well, it might take me a little while. I'll see what I can dig up.
And I suppose at this time, Tamara will leave her to her work with the scribe, and we'll see what her friends came by for.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Let's quick go over to
Do-
Ning, because I think Ning was first.
Ah, yes.
So, what's up with you, our Chi-Ling friend?
Yes. Before the day starts, I would like to approach the, I believe Lynn was her name, the new
Serving
waitress.
girl, yes.
Yes. And I would like to make her an offer. So you see, I noticed that you've been trying to, shall we say, compete with me for the tips and for the attention. And I would like to, if we worked together, we could get much more money out of these people.
She sort of blushes and says, "Well, I didn't mean to take things from you, but what sort of skills would you have to attempt to convince her to do this with you?"
Well, first of all, I have all my presents, but I would. Yes, I think I would have to rely on presence here.
Okay, so you're going to be like, You want to share your tips with me, don't you?
Well, I am more interested in finding somebody to play some music while I dance, and maybe dance with me a little bit. Maybe a second number would be something to go with. Who knows?
Okay. Well, yeah, make those rolls then.
So, will and presence or mind and presence?
I think in this case use mind, because you're trying more to convince her than throw your weight around.
Okay. I have a success.
Okay, and then I'll roll for her. Well, with looks like it's a tie. Do you have a favored use, perhaps?
For presence, not yet.
Well, if you'd like, you can roll it to try to break that tie, or with a specialty.
I will roll it again, yes.
And we can put for your specialty for presence. I'm not sure. Give me something.
Convincing people.
Sure.
Well, that sounds more like kind of a negotiation kind of thing.
Well, standing out and making a speech would be more.
That's oration, yes.
Making a speech it is then.
Okay. So it looks like with that D6, that's the one we're looking at. Look, yeah, okay. So you have 2 successes to her 1. She kind of thinks it over, and she's kind of just on the edge of it, and then you kind of go into a speech. Oh, it makes sense for both of us. We should work together, and et cetera, et cetera. And she finally says, "Okay, I guess so." If they get too handsy, you're the one that has to deal with it, though.
Sure, why not?
Well, okay then.
I can always show them how precise I can strike.
Okay. She seems in. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. And is there anything else you want to kind of interject, or should we?
No, I mean, we can roll for income a little bit later if you want to move on.
We could do it right now if you'd like.
Sure.
All right, so do a presence roll like you would if you were to do a performance run. If you have the gift of performance, dance, that will also be appropriate.
So body, performance dance, and presence, yes?
Yep, that sounds good to me.
2 successes.
Okay, so with Ling's assistance, or Lena's assistance rather, we'll treat your successes as being critical. So with 3 successes, you manage to generate 3 bouquan. And that's assumed to be your share, so.
Yes.
And if there's nothing else in that regard, I suppose we can go over to our Slinky boy.
Yes, let's move on.
So Sheng Lu Po kind of saunters up to the mayor's office.
I have authority now.
Yes, you do. At least you think you
Still-
do.
Well, I mean, less than the mayor. So,
Oh, yeah.
That's why I come to Tamra.
How can I help
Hello.
you today?
I would like to discuss my plans for town development.
Oh, you've been quite busy. I'm surprised to see you take something so seriously.
Well, you know, you got to do a job right. Is your scribe available? Because I feel we should start drawing up plans.
Tamara just sort of like looks over her shoulder, like back at the table with books scrawled across it, and the badger like taking notes with the Ling.
Yes,
Tamara will just kind of turn back from that and go, I think he's a little busy, but, well, I'm here. It's not like I can't write them down.
Well, you can draw a map, right?
Well, the badger's name, by the way, is Samuel.
Samuel, all right.
I just need someone with literacy and the ability to put things on paper.
All right. So Tamara will go ahead and like take a couple pieces of paper from the table, one of the inkwells, and just kind of like go over to one of the other rooms. It's like we can go ahead and handle it over here. So, what's been on your mind then? What do you think about settling the refugees? I'm actually starting to get a little worried myself. Not only are we going to run out of room, if the people who originally owned those homes come back, then, well, we're going to have an issue on our hands, I think.
Oh, it's certainly getting crowded. So I've decided to make plans for both growth in the amount of houses as well as economic growth. Because perhaps we can even get those people who left to return because there's opportunities here.
Well, they aren't so much away for opportunity's sake, but because the state commands it. There's so little we could do about that.
True, but
Perhaps we should send them a gift basket or something.
Oh, we can
What,
see
is-
about that with
Too little?
I mean, it's probably more than they expect.
Something to consider, I suppose. Well, again, tell me, what do you have planned for the town? Where are we going to settle
All right.
everyone?
Well, we have lots of space around us, so I guess we just continue to expand along the river.
Sound decision as long as it doesn't flood.
I mean, that'd be bad for the whole town. So,
Well, it does it on the regular.
but yeah, let's I'm sure you can do surveys to make sure we pick the
At
safest
the word
one.
survey, she just kind of like looks away, you know. It's like, surveys, yes. And then just remembers the mess in the other room. Well, continue.
Administration. So yes, I think, and I'll just the houses I think will be non-specific for now, except just more. Although with the added thing of Shang trying to work in a new house for himself because he is living in a tiny one-room house with a giant tiger. So maybe
Not to
a
worry,
nicer.
I will eventually want to have my own house. And I will make one.
But
Oh, you mean you don't want to? Are you? She like just puts her hands up to her mouth, like this is some sort of scandal or something. But I thought you two were. Oh well, it's sad to see you two break up like that. I'm afraid. Oh, well, I'm sure we can work something out.
And I will stand there completely oblivious.
and I'll just shrug. So there's rumors.
All right, but
mean-
so you're trying to like work in your own little house. What other things are you suggesting be made, and in like what order?
Okay, so the other discussions I had off stream were with Yazi for his guild, and honestly, so back into character, I think our craftsman Yazi will be great help with the economic development of the town. I hear he's already outfitting your guard.
I already handed him all the money that we got from the city, as much as help as they've been willing to be. But I'm hoping that it'll
Yes.
trickle down to the rest of the citizenry. Maybe they'll be willing to help out his business with a little incentive there. But I do still
think
have
you do more
another
specifics
half
out
of
of
that order to
character,
pay
but-
for.
But yeah, he has plans, and they got worked into my plans.
What does he convince
And
you
then-
to do this time?
Well, just to build some to start a to help him start a guild in town, which would be beneficial to the city as a whole.
Well, a guild would require a charter, but well, I always
Yes,
know
of
he's
course,
ambitious.
you two will also work that out, but purely on a construction standpoint, he had a few building requests, and I think they would make
Oh, I
sense,
can imagine.
especially.
And she just like gives a little smirk.
So yes,
Oh, what does he want?
what did you want? What were the buildings?
If you actually look at the map, the buildings whose names are in gold. Hint, hint.
Okay, so those ones.
I wouldn't put it
that's,
past like Poe to have like a little map or something.
Yeah, I
but
imagine
that's-
we're looking at a map now.
That's claiming ownership, not quite like constructing new things.
I mean, it seems like they're not being used right now anyway. We don't really have a strong trade in town beyond agriculture, so this would just allow us to put these old structures to good use.
Ah, he's gotten to you too. I'll just hand over the whole town to him at this rate.
I mean, just those places. And I have an idea for a economic structure that could benefit yourself. Perhaps you would like to hear about my plan.
Well, that's what I'm here to hear.
But as I'm sure you've noticed, business in the tea house has gotten quite intense and packed. And I think perhaps it would be time to build a second tea house in town.
Who would run a second tea house? We only have the two
I
stones.
actually had an idea for that. You would, of course, maintain ownership, and the town would reap the benefits. But I think for management, perhaps we could offer the position to one of our new residents, a young Miss Lynn. She's been put to work at the current tea house, so she'll be learning how such a business runs. But given her background, I think it would be a very kind thing indeed to allow her to manage a business. Of course, she grew up a slave, and that's the only life she's known. But I think you'll agree that allowing such a spirited young lady to take the reins on her own life would maybe be a nice gesture, as well as a profitable one for yourself.
Little Shang, you've surprised me again. I didn't think you had this much wisdom in you.
Sometimes spite looks like wisdom to others.
Well, they are keeping up. There are quite a few people coming through town now. I think it would actually benefit having a second one open. But that's only so long as more people continue to come through town. Perhaps you
Yes,
could
but
look into that yourself.
think,
If you can
I think,
find me some way to guarantee the flow of new patrons will keep flowing, I can give you all the blessings you need to make that second house. And
okay.
yours.
I know who I can look to for help with that. Because
Good. Well, I saw Vyazi's demands here. Your personal estate, whenever we get around to that. And the tea house. I believe that's was that
I
everything?
think that would be all for now. Now the only matter is getting all this built. I already have a carpenter under our town's employ, and now we just need workmen. And there's no shortage of those in town, but especially ones who are eager to work. But there are a couple more specialized types that I was wondering if you could help us try and find. There are a few stone structures in town, so I was wondering if we had any remaining stone cutters or masons.
That's a good question.
For those
Liz?
type for stone masons and the like, very likely not. You can do a mind
They
and
probably-
gossip check, but the difficulty you'll have to beat 8s.
All right, mind and gossip, I suppose.
That's you, baby.
Oh, hey, look, no gossip.
Oh,
But you do have local knowledge.
That I do, so I can at least roll.
Oh, I have
that.
local knowledge, so I'll help too. Then I will.
Maybe administration to just keep a list of everyone in town.
I'm gonna say no in this case.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
given
yeah,
on a
there's
real
this one person we just kind of forgot about who hangs out on the edge of town because he's too grumpy. Oh, so there is.
It just so happens there is a stone mason. There's probably he's the one guy if you need a hearth or something. So there is a journeyman
there are
stone
hearths.
mason. Yeah, I mean there are stone buildings. So
Okay, so he will help with the construction, and especially if your surveys give us a good source for stone and minerals.
I'm working on that right now.
At one point, the town was working some sort of.
I don't suppose I could rely on you to come with me if this survey actually proves to be of some worth, could I?
No, it's of course. I'm at your disposal.
And if I'm being honest, I'm hoping I can hit 2 birds with 1 stone here. If we go out looking for this, maybe we could also find some spiders while we're out there. 'Cause I know how much you love
I
them.
do need to follow up with our new wolf resident. Out of character, she wanted like some specific herbs. Like, are those things I could somehow obtain in town, or would that be a journey on its own?
well, it would really kind of depend on what she was looking for. Basically, if you press her further, she'll ask for some more esoteric herbs that are probably not common in town, but things like holly, sage, your basic Wiccan herbs, I guess you could say.
Maybe the town wise person, or I don't know if we have any sort of herbalist could help.
Well, we did have a wise woman. We do have the sage that lives next to you now, and we do, of course, have the brother who lives in the mayor's house now. You have
Yes.
lots of sources.
So I guess maybe aside from stuff with the mayor, that'll be my other task. Will be gathering herbs. Go on that classic RPG experience. Okay, so I think the one other thing would just be to recruit builders, and I think between me and the mayor, we could maybe recruit a nice retinue.
Definitely, especially out of the refugees and whatnot. But as everybody is setting up their ventures now, it's sort of like, okay, starting to get hard to find for free people who don't have work to do.
I know at this point it is going to be a split between Yazi and us.
Unless you can find some more.
And I am offering food and housing already for those people. It's a very tough call, isn't it? Between honor and
It is.
money.
Yeah,
I could starve and have a place in heaven, or I could eat.
So maybe we could send someone to town to look for more. Once we have some houses built, we'll work on the houses first, and then when we have more space, maybe we can look to recruit people. Maybe even one of the structures can specifically be a bunkhouse for putting workers up for free while we finish.
The oldie local barracks.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
And a bunkhouse is, yeah, those certainly existed.
Okay, so actually, in priorities, let's do bunkhouse first, so we can recruit more workers, and then build off from there. Hey, I'm good at my job.
How about you, Lue? Is there anything else that you're up to?
Well, I'm just kind of following the Slinky boy around a little bit. I don't know. I'm.
They are a couple.
Well, I do have the gift of local area knowledge now. I still feel like kind of not. Yeah, so I'm not trying to tread on people's toes, since that's last time that went very 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 bad for me. So yeah, I'm just keeping my head down, as it were, and making an otter girl very very blushy.
Yep, you're certainly doing that. So,
When I move to a new house, you can just keep the old one and maybe get something going with that.
Ah, yes, he can keep the spider house.
Then you'll really get a reputation for having a taste for little slinkies.
that's adorable. Anyway, so the next day, or we can roll ahead a day or so.
Is there any
But in
rules
the
I
middle-
can do to start my my herb collection?
Yes. Are you trying to seek out people who might know such things, or are you trying to find them yourself?
I think my best bet with my skill set is local area knowledge, so I think I'm just going to look for people.
Okay. Well, the wolf is in the mulberry garden. She is a named token.
That sounds like a poem.
Okay. The wolf is in the mulberry garden. I'm still not in the Roll20, huh?
Yeah, I don't see you actually.
No, you're not.
I kept going to a tab to open it, and I think I kept getting distracted. Sorry, I have to sign it.
That's okay. But the wolf's name is a really strange name to you. It's something like Murai. She spends most of her time in the mulberry farms where the silkworms are, and seems to not mind the smell or not mind the processes at all. So since pretty much everybody is like now labor is starting to get short, she just sort of decided that the mulberry farm is hers.
Hey, you know, that's actually good business. Silk's worth a lot.
Is silk a regulated commodity?
How do you mean?
Well, in ancient China, they they regulated who could have silkworms and whatnot because they didn't want silk and especially the worms to fall into the hands because they had a monopoly on the silk trade.
Well, in this case, if I understand the content, pretty much every little farming town has mulberry trees so that for silkworms. So in this case, if it goes outside the country, I'm sure they'd probably have export limits and things like that. But at least locally, yeah, every little town, it's a place for old women to go because they lose track of their sense of smell. And yeah, it's apparently really stinky and gross inside of those because it's hot too. So. But yeah, she doesn't seem to mind at all. In fact, it's almost like she's in her own little world when she's tending to them.
I'll try and make a conscious effort not to breathe through my nose.
But yeah, you see her busy kind of it was previously almost abandoned. There's like a handful of old people that were looking at it or working on it maybe once a week. But now that she's there, she's like going through each of the trees and getting them back up to productivity again. So,
already a boon for the town. Okay. Well, I'm trying to find this on the map. Which corner is she in? Oh, there we go. Okay. Flomp. What's her name? I can't see it.
Murai.
Murai. Greetings, Murai.
She looks up and says, "Oh, it's you. Remind me what your name is again."
You may call me Shang.
Oh, hello. What can I do for you?
I was following up on the quest for the help with spiders, and I was wanting again a list of the materials you would still need to assist with that.
Oh, yes. Well, she recites like maybe 5 different plants that she says. I think those are here locally, but I'm also thinking maybe some dogwood might be useful for protection.
Dogwood. And that's not local?
No, that's a little rarer.
Okay. I mean, I can't exactly write a list down. I'm illiterate. So I'll just kind of try and...
She'll repeat them like a numerous, like 4 or 5 times until you kind of, okay, now what do I want again?
Okay. Are any of those ones you'd be able to gather yourself?
Well, I could, but I have these trees to tend to.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, then
she does say. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, she does say. Well, I think you can. These will be more of in like a a foresty area. These are more by the plains. If you look, they have blue thorns. These have this smells kind of spicy. She kind of gives you a little bit of understanding. Whoever kind of has some knowledge in those plants would very easily know what they are.
I do not, but she's given me some description, so let's see if I can find some of them on my own and whittle this list down. I don't have any plans today.
Okay, so I suppose this will be. We can do 2 checks to kind of represent like the morning and the afternoon. Let's see here. Do you happen to have any survival or any what skill checks could you potentially justify to search for plants?
Well, I have a mind eye.
You do.
I have local area knowledge, which I guess could also be
that would work
for local plans. I think that's about it.
Do you happen to have searching, maybe?
I do not.
Academics?
Okay. But, you know, let's just try those 2 and see where it gets.
Okay.
Hey, that's actually 2 successes, so probably pretty far.
Okay, yeah. Given her instructions, you are able to find the common herbs that she was asking for. But it takes you most of the day to do.
Okay, so dogwood's the only outstanding one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll check with the wise woman in town first, and if she can't help, then I'll see about having Yazi get some in town.
Do a mind and gossip check to see if you can find like a herbalist or somebody.
Local area knowledge again, too?
Yep, and gossip.
Oh, actually, also, those 2 rolls were just for the first check. Did you want me to do a second one, or did I find everything in the...
Well, you found everything in the morning, so...
Hey, it's not too late, then. Cool.
But I suppose for the afternoon...
not as good about finding herbalists.
Yeah, you're kind of... You get distracted and you're like, I really should get a badge. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, shoot, I was looking for somebody.
Well, plan B, which also can sometimes be hard. I'm going to try and find Yazi. I remember him trying to find me. It was an ordeal.
Are you there, Yazi?
Yeah. What's up?
You would be at your forge, probably, right?
Yeah, more than likely.
Okay, so my guess is you're probably working there all day now.
On the things that I could start making, yes.
Okay. Well, Sheng Lu Po, if you think to go to the forge, that's where he's gonna be. So you could road it.
I mean, I imagine that's where I would go. I don't know anywhere else he goes.
Yeah. So yes, Sheng Lu Po shows up at your forge, Yazi.
Okay. Just in the matter of expediency, I'll describe the encounter with Tamara earlier, and that I put in the official request for him to have access to those buildings. And then yes, when is the next time you'll be gathering materials from the city?
I imagine I'm there, dressed up in my normal elaborate outfit. Not so much working, actually, as supervising, which is the same, because I'm adding my own skills to those, so it'll still count. Because I'm wearing my elaborate outfit, hands behind my back, mask, and very respectful and silent while you speak. And I will give a bemoanful sigh and lower my head and say, "Ah, but if you had only contacted me yesterday. You see, my agents are already out at the city, collecting materials as we speak, and they shall soon return. How needful is this order that you request?
I don't know. I don't know. But I suppose I can wait.
If it is a
Or,
pressing
you know.
matter, my friend, I would simply send them back upon their return.
Do you know anything about dogwood?
I mean, I'm sure I could try to see if I know anything about dogwood.
That would be I guess, mind in academics.
I have those. I have those two things.
Sheng just comes up. You're a dog, right? You know about dogwood, don't you?
Yeah, go fetch it, dog. Would craft add to this any? Might I have worked with dogwood?
I would say no.
Okay. Then I would say 2 successes.
Well, dogwood is it's like a reddish wood that's found in kind of deeper forests. But you also know that it does kind of have a negative reputation being attached to necromancy.
It is a unholy wood. Might I ask?
Not necessarily, but
Necromancy, I'm only saying that because necromancy stuff typically is unholy, like extinguishers. No, that's not unholy. Shit, I can't remember what I'm thinking of. There's a weapon specifically for necromancy. That's unholy just on the face of it. Yeah. Well, no. There is a sword. Mortuary. No, the mortuary sword. Yeah. That's unholy just because it's being used by a necromancer. So things associated with necromancy tend to just be considered unholy.
Right. So dogwood would be then, yeah, usually you know that wands are made from dogwood. So, or necromancy wands are made from dogwood.
Right. So I'll express these things and then inquire to perhaps why you would desire such a thing.
I honestly don't know what it's for, but like, it seems more herbalist in nature than craft. So maybe she's gonna make some sort of thing. I don't know. I'm just
Very well. But do you know the
material.
the expedient nature of this request, or is it a holdable?
Single doctor. I mean, I haven't been attacked by spiders today, so I guess maybe.
As I've said, I expect that my agents shall return within the coming days. If it is of expedient nature, I would humbly acquiesce to your request and send them back for further materials.
I mean, I think I just need like a sprig. How much would a sprig of dogwood be?
Well, unfortunately, it's not so much how much it would be as how much the transportation would cost. But again, you have served me well in the past, Sheng Lupo, and I would be willing to take this humble request under wing for you.
Much appreciated. All right. Well, I guess that takes care of that.